What's up, gang? Evil here. I've got a whole 0 viewers right now, but I'm hoping maybe some people will join in. Saturday, starting week 3 for me of coronavirus lockdown. My employer hasn't told us that we need to work from home until further notice, so I've been spending a whole lot of time here in the shop. Unfortunately, it's at my computer doing work. Today, I would love to go out and run around, but because the weather is supposed to be fairly warm, but nothing's open. All the non-essential stores and everything are closed down, so I hadn't done one of these YouTube go live things since the old what we were doing RC CarCast with the whatever you call it, the Google Hangouts thing. But yeah, not much to do but hang out here around the house. Wife's got control of the TV. Nothing too interesting. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of projects going on right now. Week 1, I did a whole build. I had ordered a bunch of parts, and I built this whole rig. So all my spare time was building this. It's a Bully 2 comp crawl. I'm planning on getting back into some 2.2 comp here, trying to get some other people going. But yeah, anyway, week 1 of the lockdown was that thing, and it's completely ready to go. I have a build video on that, but I want to do some running first before I upload it. But so anyway, here we are in the shop. We're bored. I don't have anything to work on except for this. So some people who follow my channel know that I've been like I had all these non-running models sitting around, and I've just been kind of going through them one by one, getting them all running. The last one really in my stable is this. Some of you old-time crawler scale guys might recognize this, but this is a Venom creeper. So this was the very first thing I ever got back when crawling was still pretty new. I got this, I think it was towards when these were going out of production, because my wife bought this for me for our anniversary for like $60 or something for the whole kit. And you know, it's not competitive. I mean, the first time I compared it to an AX10 at a comp, there was no comparison, but it is a fun little rig to drive. Put 4-wheel steer on it, so that's interesting. I had long since robbed parts off of it for other stuff, but I couldn't sell it because it was sort of sentimental as far as it was anniversary present. So I've decided that my project is going to get this going. I don't know that I have enough stuff to get it going, but yeah, that's the thing. So I had these cheapo Tower Pro servos on it, and I blew them both up back in the day. So they were just sitting on there being paperweights. But I ended up with a couple more of those. So these are brand new Tower Pro 995s. So they're like 100-ounce, just kind of a cheap Chinese servo, but are pretty good. They're Metal Gear. You can bash them around pretty good. So that's what's going on that. And then I scrounged up a receiver, old Spectrum SR 3000. This is from way back in the day. These things still work. They're great receivers. So that'll get me running. And then I have this giant, I got to show you guys this. This is kind of sad, actually. This is my spare electronics box. So, and there's a lot of dead stuff in here, and there's stuff in here. So I dug through here and I found this old side. And generally how I tell the bad ones is I nip the battery plug off of them. So this still has the battery plug. So I'm guessing when I put this up, this still worked. So I'm going to put this on here. But yeah, it is a hodgepodge. Model Max Pro. That thing's still good. Tekin RS. That's still good. Novak Cyclone. Still good. Well, there's my 13.5. I was wondering where that went. Pulled that out of the Wraith whenever I put the Newcastle slate motors in. I expect my kids to come barging in here any moment. This one, Sidewinder, it looks like it's dead. Took the power connectors off. But anyway, I don't know if anyone else has one like this, but when you're into this stuff for decades, you end up with boxes like this. Anyway, so gonna get that going. I tried to get like a webcam or a cam I could swivel around on this thing, but Apple are complete dicks when it comes to aftermarket webcams. So I don't know. We'll try this. Scroll. Oh, got my laptop suspended on Crawler Innovation cell blocks, which also make great laptop stands. Can we end this down? Oh yeah, that works. Boom. You guys would probably rather look at that than my ugly mug. So yeah, what I didn't film was I already installed the Integy 55 turn lathe motor. This is the same motor that I ran in this thing when I built it the first time, just because these are super cheap. I see these going for dumb money on eBay now, but that was like a $20 motor or something, but not a lot of runtime on it. So going super old school with the 55 turn motor. Here's the body. So I'll fix this camera a bit. Here's the body. It's kind of beat to shit. It's completely shoe good on the inside. But I managed to find probably the last new in box Venom Creeper body on the internet. So once this thing gets done, it'll have a nice new body on it. This thing, it probably won't get roughhouse around like it was when it was new. But anyway, got a new body for it. Some of you guys are probably like, this is so dumb. Why are you even bothering? I don't know. It was just a fun rig, and I really have nothing else to work on. After I got the AX10 and got that bully built. So I guess I'll get going on this. Servo horns are going to be my big trick. I don't think I have any to fit these servos. I think these are a 25 spline, I think. And I was never a big Futaba servo guy, so I don't think I have a lot of 25 spline. Ouch. I don't know what that is. Doesn't have a number on it. It actually fits, I think. Unfortunately, I don't have two of them. I have two of these axials. Okay, I have a 24 and a 25, so. Yep, 25 goes on there perfect. I'd love to have a matching pair of these. So that'll probably be an eBay purchase. But I can put these on there to get it going, I guess. Actually, I'm going to use that red one since it matches. Gotta get off of there. Bling. See if these servos come with a screw. Well, they do good. At least get that one going. And then I promptly lost it. There it is. Good old-fashioned Phillips head screw. So I'm just here hanging out, guys. So if anybody has anything they want to talk about, chime in on the chat. We're up to 4, and I am thankful for all 4 of you. Thank you for tuning in. That screwdriver doesn't fit. It's not like a Harley stream where it's got 60, 70, 100 people in it. Maybe I can get that butthead to tune in. That is a good sounding servo. High performance, baby. Apparently that is not a standard thread or standard hex. Momentary brain lapse there. I don't know if the servos always sounded that bad or if I'm just used to hearing better ones now. So I got to show you the first set. So I ordered a pair of Tower Pro off of eBay for I used to order these all the time just to put in stuff. They were junk. If you broke them, they were $10. You bought a new one. So I just went to eBay, searched MG995, ordered one, got a pair of these. They look like the old school 995s, but they are not them. When I plugged it in, actually, when I was mocking up that Bully 2 rig, I put one of these on here and I turned the wheel and it went, it just kept going. I'm like, what? I didn't hear it hit an end stop or anything. So I pulled the servo apart, and the old 995 was a ball bearing servo. This has a bright freaking orange plastic bushing on top, which is the first thing that caught my eye. And then also the main servo gear under there does not have a stop. So this is like either a robotic servo or a sail servo. I guess I could use it for a wind servo if I wanted. Probably wouldn't be stout enough for that. But yeah, so I emailed them like, yeah, these aren't the right servos. They're like, yes, it is. I'm like, okay, that's a great response from a seller. Oh, your problem is your resistance is wrong on your microcontroller. I'm like, dude, I just need an RC servo. It doesn't have a physical stop. So they were like, they didn't believe me. The guy was argumentative. And so I took pictures of my old 995 and this one next to each other. I'm like, what do you got to say to that? And he's like, I'm going to go to my boss. Well, I never heard from him for a couple of days, so they got negative feedback. But trying to pass off Chinese knockoff bullshit for less bad Chinese knockoff bullshit. But anyway, $20 on that one, but at least maybe other people won't get burned by that seller. Passing off garbage is not as bad garbage. Yeah. Oh, is that Ian or Lane? I hear you. I always thought, because I commute to work, so I'm like 2 hours a day on the road, and I always thought working from home would be like a dream come true. It does weird shit to you. Like, it does weird stuff to my morale, my attitude. It's different. It's not what I thought it would be. Bronco, you need to. I'm trying to spearhead a comeback here. Trying to, especially here in KC, there's still the KCRC club is still alive and well, although it's very heavily scale oriented right now. Jerry and crew just built an awesome portable crawler course. If you want to see it, check out my KCRC Midwest Challenge video I just uploaded like a week or two ago. This is before all this outbreak BS. It is awesome. But I will say, it seems a little bit challenging for a scaler, except for maybe a very comp-oriented scaler, but perfect for a comp rig. So I'm hoping we can just drag that thing to a parking lot in front of a hobby shop, do some 2.2 scales. It's big enough to put several courses on it, and maybe bring some people back in. The big main issue, obviously, is there's no factory support anymore. Axial stopped making their comp stuff. Everybody stopped making things. And probably the thing that restarted the fire for me was this thing, because if this doesn't look like an old school comp rig, I don't know what does. A bunch of the guys already have these. There's not a lot of aftermarket for these yet, but I feel like this thing might kind of reignite the fires. I know it did for me. I got this and I drove it and I'm like, this thing kind of sucks. I miss my old stuff. So that was when I put the AX10 back together. Okay, I like it. It's fun. I miss my MOA. I sold that a long time ago, unfortunately. But I found that the Bully 2 was still on the market and it looks like a great rig. So I built one of those. But I'm hoping this thing will kind of relight the fire. So if somebody grabs one of these, or several people grab these and the aftermarket takes off for them, it might be a thing. So looking forward to that. I'm just doing what I can to try and get the ball rolling again. Altered IC, yeah. Everybody be safe, man. Just keep your hands washed. Stay inside. Don't go out unless you have to. That's the big thing. Anyway, back to the creeper here. So it looks like back in the day I went with Velcro to mount the electronics. So I'm going to scare up some Velcro. Oh, it looks like I'm going to have to get the soldering iron out too. These wires will not reach the motor. Hope this thing works. I'll go a bunch of trouble wiring it up and then have it not work. Maybe I will just pull the Velcro off of here. I think back then I was doing a lot of receiver swapping. So it seemed like a good idea at the time. Some servo tape and mount that bad boy on there. Fits perfect. What's everybody working on? Anybody else got a project going for this whole lock-in? Hi, buddy. Here's my son. You want a big cookie? I'll be right back. I got a dad for a second. Alrighty. Servo tape. I know this isn't terribly riveting content, but I'm bored, and if you guys are watching, you're probably bored too. Who else would be sitting around watching it? I don't even know what year it was. An old Venom creeper get worked on. I'm out of servo tape. And the hobby shop is closed. I have some of this 3M tape. So I'll have to do. So nobody's working on anything? How are you guys spending your time while you're cooped up at home? He's doing some maintenance or something? Tell you what, I am definitely rather ready for the weather to straighten up out around here so we can get out and about. There, I added a part to it. Does that count as progress? Receiver installed. So for this thing, I'm gonna have to get some wires. I guess I'm gonna have to take this truck apart. It's probably been the better part of a decade since I've wrenched on this thing, so I don't remember how to get to all the stuff. Oh, new people in there. Yep, you're seeing that right. That is a Venom creeper, in case you were wondering. Kind of came onto the comp scene late in the game with some kind of unorthodox design. Oh my gosh, this is making me tired already. And yeah, just never really caught on this thing, but it was still fun to drive. It was pretty tough. I have to get a drill. Those are long ones. And I'm just kind of lazy. It's Saturday. I'll work hard. Welcome, new folks. I'm just hanging out. We're not doing anything crazy. So, interested to hear what everybody's working on, doing with their time. While we're locked up. Can't believe these things still work. I don't know how long I've had these, but it's been a while. This battery may be going. Screws are all rusty. I used to get this rig out and drive it in the snow because I didn't want to drive any of my nicer rigs in the snow, so this one got wet a lot. Oh, good. Spacers. So let's see if that's actually coming out. It is. We don't have to take those out. Oh, fun. It's bolted to the transmission. What the crap? What's up, everybody? Just hanging out. Nothing special. I'm asking everybody what their COVID-19 lockdown projects are. I've already burned through mine, unfortunately, so now I'm scraping for stuff to do, which is why we're working on a Venom creeper. All right, that's good enough to give me access to the motor. Do away with the Velcro here as well. Chime in, guys, when you're logging in. Let me know who's out there. Unless you don't want to, then it's okay. Why is this guy working on a Venom creeper? Asking myself the same question. That'll work. I'm gonna go get the soldering iron so I can do that on camera as opposed to over at my other station. So back momentarily. I am back at the ever reliable UTC 300 iron here. I've had this since my racing days. There's an old warhorse that is still kicking. And I will be sad the day that this thing crooks. And I'll probably look for a used one. Need some water. Dump some of this stuff. This gets hot. This is always the most fun part, watching the sponge suck up all the water. So I can need a little bit more. All right, let that puppy warm up. I'm going to take these wires off before I mount it. Sorry, I was chasing down some wire. Seam. Get some helping hands. So it looks like I'm going to be tinning wires and everything. All right, question for everybody. What soldering iron you guys use? Do you do your own soldering? Do you go to the hobby shop? If you do solder, what soldering iron do you use? We'll do a little soldering primer while we're here. Gotta find my angle cutters. It amazes me. I buy like 20 pairs of these things so I can just have them at each station where I work on stuff, and I still manage to lose them all. So I don't know. I'm down to one. This is the last pair. So, in there though. 6040 rosin core solder. I don't know if this is leadless or not. Doesn't say that it is, but yep, this has got lead. I know solder really got a lot shittier thanks to the environmentalists and taking the lead out of our solder. So all you guys out there who got red rings of death on your Xbox, you can thank the folks who took the lead out of your solder. That's why there were a lot of those motherboard problems, because it was pretty new back then and they just hadn't quite figured it out yet. Getting there. Always tune your tip. Before doing any work. Take off the excess. This is always fun. So if you ever do this, like that was plenty long enough to melt solder. If you ever do that and it doesn't melt, don't just hold it on there, because that heat, it travels down, can get in the board, screw stuff up. The trick is when you're trying to melt hardened solder like that, especially if somebody used the wrong solder, the trick is to have a solder flow, what they call a solder flow, which is melted solder on the tip of your iron. So I put a little dot on there, and if you put that dot down there, this should pop right off. There it goes. That's the trick if you're ever trying to unsolder something and it doesn't want to come off. Get your little solder flow going on the solder. It's funny, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, somebody did use the wrong solder on this thing. Soldering, I hated. Very first model I ever built, I had to have someone do it for me. Even after that, I hated doing it. But I knew it was a kind of important piece of the hobby. So the trick is right solder, 6040, good iron, high capacity tip. Don't get those little skinny tip irons. For RC, you need something with a good size tip so it'll hold a lot of heat capacity. You're doing a lot of big soldering on RC stuff, these big wires. So you want a lot of tip capacity. All right. I'm going to replace the wires. These are pre-tinned, but I'm going to tin them a little bit more. I like to have enough for the wire and then enough to flow the battery onto the post where it's going. Smoke, don't breathe it. Bad for you. Although I admit, I kind of like the smell. Reminds me of being at an RC track. But don't breathe it. It's bad for you. I'm going to tin one into this wire. A lot of people do this. They crimp and pull off. I don't do that. I usually get the distance I want on a razor or an X-Acto, and then I just roll it. Sometimes I get it crooked like I did right there. That is okay, because you can go back and fix it. This is more important on small wires where you might not have a lot of excess wire to work with. So we're going to tin this one. Remember, I'm tinning the wire. I do tend to let the heat creep on a little bit. It helps draw that solder up to the edge of the jacket. It's hot. So we have two right back. So these are kind of nasty looking. I bought this thing used. I don't like poor soldering work, so I often have stuff in my arsenal that isn't really up to my standard. So I'm trying to desolder this a little bit. So this crap off of there. What was that? So, a big boom. I don't know what that was. I like the sound of molten solder when it gets on the sponge and it sizzles. What's up? Welcome, new folks. Welcome to watch Evil work on old RC shit. I don't have no fancy SCX 10.3 to work on like some of these guys. Nope. We are fully self-supported here. Should probably cut these to length. Maybe I should mount this thing first, and then I'll cut them to length. So red was to red, if I remember correctly. Should probably just take this out of there. That was hot. And I probably put it in there the wrong way. If I mount it like that. Yep, taking that out. None of my wires going the wrong way. I'm going to reverse them. Come on. Some of that old solder on there, this stuff doesn't want to melt. Social distancing. It's kind of a funny word to me. I feel like this was all cooked up to get us on Facebook or something. And YouTube. I guess it's working. Get in there, you. to try and cool those off a little bit before I hit it again. I'm going to re-tin this because it kind of looks like shit. I don't know what it is. The solder does not want to stick to that part of the wire. You guys are awful quiet out there. I feel like everybody turned this on and then maybe left to go toast some Pop-Tarts or something. Oh, that's hot as shit. Ouch. Alrighty. Some longer wires. We'll see if I screwed up and they reach or not. See if this negative will get over there. It looks like it will. All right. Let's mount this ESC. I'm going to turn this down. Hopefully I'm done with it. Yes, I'm using 3M tape to mount my electronics, which I don't normally do, but I'm out and the hobby shop's closed. I think Castle Creations uses this stuff. I went in there one time to take a look at the slate motors and stuff before those came out, and they had a whole roll. It was a huge roll of this stuff on the bench, and that's what they were using. So I figured it was good enough for me. I'm used to the old foam stuff that you have to peel off with your fingernails anytime you move an ESC somewhere. This stuff seems to work pretty good. Works in the pinch when your hobby shop is closed, because I think you can still get into Home Depot. Okay, let's mount this up. Make sure that's not going to get in the way. I got that pole a little bit close. That's really about as far as it'll go, though. All right. This thing may drive today if this thing works. It's part of the mystery. Anyway, Sidewinder mounted. It's a Castle ESC. I have faith. Okay. Need to figure out the polarity of our motor here. We'll solder some motor leads. I know I should probably do bullet connectors, but I hate bullet connectors. They take up so much room. And they are the enemy of clean wiring. So negative is the closer one, so that's good. I'm not super particular on wiring, but I don't like it when there's huge knots and loops and stuff. going everywhere. I just like it to be sort of tidy. Like here's the, if I can get this in frame. Yeah, this isn't super clean. It's not all hidden or anything, but it's at least, it's not all over the place. There's not huge loops going everywhere. I like to keep it kind of, I'll probably do some more on this. Like I say, I'm just, right now, this rig hasn't been really tested, so still may have to tear it apart or something. Okie dokie. Let's run some wires. I always try to have a little bit of slack in the wire in case you need to pull it apart or move something around. Just a little bit. But I don't want huge loops of it. So I'm going to take what I thought and then give it about 1/8 of an inch. Yep. Should have measured this before I mounted it, but well. Tin the other end of that wire. Fire the iron back up. Watch this motor have to run in reverse direction. So I probably cut that too short to reset the lead. I did. Not thinking, Aaron. There's a good possibility this motor may need to run in reverse direction. So if that's the case, I'll have to change it in software on the Sidewinder as opposed to just reversing the motor polarity. So, or I could just pull the whole wire off and put another one on, but we'll try it like this. I don't have great luck with my Castle Link on my computer here, so my Castle Link is ancient. So it sort of works intermittently now. Probably has more to do with the computer, but well. All right. Let's tin some more. I'm going to lose these screws before it's over. Keep bumping them. I'm going to pre-tin this. Anytime you solder anything together, you have to pre-tin both objects that you're going to solder together. Super important on these little mini strand wires because they will suck up solder like no tomorrow. I always just kind of hold the iron on there and then let the heat draw it in. I don't know what wire this is, but it's sort of solder resistant, which is weird. Being unhelping hands at the moment. That's really strange wire. I just haven't thrown enough solder at it yet. So weird. I don't know what that is, but I hope we don't buy it anymore. Let that cool off. Now I'm going to run the positive over to the positive. motor terminal. I always try and run both wires at the same time so I can, because I'll route them together, so I want it to look clean. So I run them at the same time so that they'll take around the same path when they are soldered. I always zip tie them together. There. All right, let's tin this positive lead. My daughter hasn't come down here yet. She is a third grader, and I don't know how many of you all have kids, but YouTube is like life to these kids. Like, we watched Thundercats and G.I. Joe and shit when we were at home. When we were kids, all her friends, they all watch YouTube. So she frequently brags that her dad is like a famous YouTuber. And it doesn't help because occasionally I do run into people around here who recognize me from YouTube. And so she's like, "Dad, you're famous." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." Ouch, that thing's hot. So, but anyway, she's constantly spouting off to her friends that her dad's famous YouTube with 4 people watching his live stream right now. Making a blistering like $30 or $40 a month on ad revenue. Good thing I'm not using it to pay the mortgage. All right. I'm going to need my fun pliers. The bench is a complete mess right now because I just finished building a project and it's always trashed afterwards. Put some more solder on those motor tabs, which is fun while it's tucked way back in the chassis. It's a good time. I should have just pulled this all the way off here. But I'm lazy. This wire is foiling me more. Man, I really cut that shorter than I should have. So worst case, I could flip it around. There's one. Oh, we got a new person. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the boredom stream. It's kind of a handful when it's flopping around like that. I wonder where that body clip came from. I know. Stuff didn't want to melt. All right. See how bad I screw up with this wiring. See if that's going to sit down where it's supposed to. Seems to be enough of a gap. Plus that battery tray is plastic, so I don't have to worry about it messing with anything. I don't think I'm going to zip tie those wires. It's tidy enough the way it is. For those of you just joining, this is a Venom creeper from 2000. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Anyway, it's been sitting on my bench with electronics stolen out of it for a while. So we're restoring it to its former glory. It's actually just got four-wheel steering, and I think it'll be kind of fun to drive, to fool around with. So. It's a good thing about RC. You don't have to buy the most expensive, crazy stuff to have a good time. Everybody wants you to buy the most expensive, crazy stuff, but you don't have to. Probably should have ran that. Looks like I got room. I'm asking everybody that pops in here what their lockdown projects are. If you're working on something or you're wrenching on something while you're watching. Hey, when you pop in, say hi. I can't see the names of who's in here, so. Probably have to pay extra for that. Hey, what's up? Got a couple new people. How's it going? Keep expecting this battery to die, but it just keeps going. Let's put this shock back. Oh my gosh, this thing might be running soon. Still need to figure out my servo horn situation though. Just don't have a lot of 25 spline stuff laying around. Because I've been a Spectrum guy for most of my RC life. At least when 2.4 gigahertz stuff hit. Look at that. Wonder if it works. Anybody else reviving old comp crawlers? This isn't really a comp crawler, but this will be my third old crawler revive. It's kind of funny the other day. I was just thinking about updating my my SCX10. I have a SCX10-2 sitting over there on the shelf that I reviewed for Amy and Hobbies. I was like, maybe I'll tear the axles off of that thing and convert my truck over to SCX10-2. Then they released the SCX10-3. so that went out the window. So I guess it'll stay in SCX10-1 for now. All right. Locate this body clip that I lost somewhere. That thing's going. I think it's an Associated though, so I got some more. Okie dokie. What's up, everybody who's joining in? Appreciate you stopping in. Let me know if you have any questions or just want to chat about anything. We're just bored, hanging out. I'm literally out of projects, so that's why I pulled this thing off of my shelf to get running again. So I'm sourcing old electronics from the drawer, see if we can get it working. Have some fun with four-wheel steer. All right, we're ready to plug in some electronics. These things, interestingly enough, like way before TRX4 came out, this was the first one that I remember that had lockable diffs. So they have I don't know where it's at, but there's a mechanism in there where you can hook a mini servo to it and then lock and unlock the diffs. Which I don't know, is maybe a thing in rock crawling. I don't really know much about full scale rock crawling, but it seems to have a lot of play. That universal is busted. Anyway, these had lockable diffs. When I put them together, they had kind of 3 small pins that hold that locker together, and I was just like, there's no way that that's going to hold up. If somebody used them that way, let me know. But first thing I did was take some JB Weld to them and force the lockers into a locked position. So they've held up for a long time that way, but I just didn't see any need to have a lockable diff, especially if you're going to go four-wheel steer. So I'm going to plug some stuff in here. enough room to kind of. Well, there's not. It sits down a lot further than I thought. Run this around the back. What's up? What's everybody up to? Bored like me? I live in the country, so if the weather were nice, we would at least go outside, but it's not right now. It's kind of nasty outside. We're supposed to get some severe weather, so we got that too. Should be fun. Always fun being locked down and tornadoes and shit flying around. And I knocked that plug off. This thing has this weird rubber plug that goes on the back of the transmission. That's how you access the motor screws, which makes it a lot of fun to adjust your pinion. It's sarcasm. It's not fun at all. There's just really nothing easy about this rig. All right, so that will be throttle. So channel 2. I remember which one this is. Signal goes far right. I could be wrong. Hopefully I don't burn something up. I'm wondering if this ESC came off of this thing. The wire seems to be like just the right length. And this is the front servo. What's up, new folks who are chiming in? I'm not chiming in, but checking in. I'm really unhappy with that. Here's where my retentiveness about wiring comes in. Pull this battery tray off so I can reroute this wire. Which is probably a dumb idea because I have no idea if this ESC works, so there's a good chance I'll be undoing this. Does that make it an OCD thing? I don't know. Could be. Give me enough. I don't know. Try and fish this through here. Don't let me lose those motor screws, guys. Keep an eye on those. Put it on here where you can see them. That way if they roll off the bench, you guys can be like, look right, look left. Guess I had more slack there as well. went through there a lot easier than I thought it would. How's the video quality? I'm uploading this on my hotspot because broadband at my house isn't great. But this hotspot seems to be fairly fast. Anybody? This thing on? Hasn't updated in a while, so I'm wondering if it's working. This is much better. You have these backwards. The hell? Aux channels on top? What are they thinking? So weird. I almost lost those screws. I thought about trying to get a RC car cast together the other night, but that was the exact night that Harley decided to do a live stream with Skill Builders Guild. So put that on the back burner. We'll do that some other night. Plus, I haven't heard from Howard or John for a while, so not sure what all's going on there. All right. About ready to turn some power on and see if we can make some magic smoke come out. I'll be right back. Just wanted to verify. So the Futaba key is signal. So those are correct. So I'm going to set up a model to bind this thing to. Actually, Let's just make sure it doesn't go up in smoke the first time we plug it in. I was looking for something that wasn't 3S. I don't think I want to run 3S on this. It might be bad on those servos. With no BEC, which is dumb. I should probably be running a BEC. But, hey, we're just kind of messing around here. Let's check the voltage on this bad boy. That's good, 3.8. All right, here we go. ESC armed. Nothing's on fire. I guess let's bind it. MOA. If the creeper was even in this radio. Okay. Using my M11. Bunch of drift cars in here. All right, model 21 it is. Oops. This is much more enjoyable experience than doing this on my DX5 Rugged. Oh my God. Talk about frustrating. Creep. Creeper is going to fit perfect. Creeper, QR, there we go. Here we go, Model 21 Creeper. Let's bind. I forgot this has got that, so we're binding. Let's get some battery. Push the fun little bind button in. Find the on switch. Oops. That's not right. Must have got the channels map wrong. Go. That'd be hard to drive like that, wouldn't it? Let's fix that. Yep, I totally put those in the wrong channel. Right. It's got reverse delay. At least my motor polarity is right. That's a plus. So I'm gonna have to hook the ESC to the damn castle link anyway. This guy out of here because I think we're done with it. It leaves. What's up, D. Gordon? Thanks for checking in there. I didn't think the chat thing was working, but everybody else is just being quiet. So it works amazingly. So a couple little things. I'm running 2 servos, so I really don't. I probably need to put a BEC on it. A little BEC in that castle speed control. Will probably be stressed by running these 2. At the same time, I'm not going to be buying this thing up like a comp rig, so I guess if it smokes the BEC, I'll just put one in it because I don't have an extra right now, and frankly, I'm tired of buying them at the moment. They're $22, $27 a pop, and I've bought like 3 of them in the last month for different projects. So there's that. The steering linkage. Not going to work. Need a much shorter horn on there. Hitting the linkage already. Well, we've already gotten further than I thought we would, which is, I'm amazed that it turned on. Considering these were all kind of unknown electronics. All right, so maybe at an impasse because I don't think I have servo horns. I mean, I guess I could use these. I mean, who'd have thunk? It's been since I've used a servo horn like that. So it'll work till I get some aluminum ones. It's pretty sad. I have to check to make sure it fits. But it does. This is a really uber cheap build now. Nip. I hit the computer pretty hard. Trim that off. We're not letting that stop us, damn it. We're plowing on. I don't want to do with the oh, there it is. Bought 4 of these servos for $20. $5 a pop is not too bad. What's up, new people? New viewers? We are getting custom with our plastic servo horns. These things come off there with some force. All right, I'm gonna go to the grinder real quick and clean up those just because, and I'll be right back. All right. It's joined from Rochester, New York. On the bench, currently swapping oil in the Capra. What oil? Shock oil? I haven't built a Capra, so I don't know what's all up with them. Nice. How you like it so far? Are you blowing up portals or are they holding up for you? I don't know where Rochester is, but I know New York is getting hit hardest by all this right now, so stay safe if you're out and about. You know, hospitals and stuff are stressed out there, so kind of scary. We haven't had any confirmed cases where I live. We're in kind of a rural area, but Southern City has had some cases reported. Ever since then, my work we've been on a work from home until further notice type of deal. So trying to keep my head down. So far, so good. It's good to hear. Way upstate, yeah. Super dense there in New York. Lots of people rubbing shoulders. New York City, I should say. Same deal. I'm starting week 3, so starting to go a little bit nuts. Anyway, I need to waller out these screw holes in these servo horns. Love it when I tear the place apart looking for something, and then it's not where I saw it. Love how eBay, if you're watching something on eBay, when something sells, they're like, this sold, like, neener, neener. I'm like, okay. Clearly, if I didn't buy it, I'm okay with that. What other rigs you got besides the Capra, Will? First scaler, or been doing this a while? I'm looking forward to getting back out, doing some stuff. We got just a little taste of the weather's warming up at the Midwest Scale Challenge, but then shortly after that, everything's on lockdown. So that really sucks. I'm glad YouTube built this live hangout thing, because it was a pain before because you had to like do the Google Hangout thing and then set it all up, and it was just super clunky. It'd be much easier to do that RC CarCast thing now. Anybody else out there wrenching on their stuff at the same time? If you don't own a set of these, you need to. These things were invaluable. I bought them when I was building a balsa airplane, and you have to drill your own holes and stuff. And the electric drills, just a little bit too wild for that. So I thought I bought those for that project and didn't think I'd ever use them again. I use these all the time. All the time I use these things. Fortunately, these are a Hobbyco product, which is no longer around, but maybe Horizon remarketed it or something. All right, let's check these out. These should be better. Mo better. Still working on old Harley hardware from back in the day. It's too short. That is special. I'd be surprised to see both these things just go up in smoke immediately. We're going to have some four-wheel steering, damn it. That's not good. It's making some bad noises. $5 servo, what do you expect? Get to work, damn it. Get to work. Need some zip ties. Man, we're starting to button this thing up. Never, ever buy Walmart zip ties. I don't see these that often, so I usually pick them up a couple packages at a time. I'm like, oh, it's not a bad price. 50% of the time when I tighten one of these up, they just snap. So these are hyper tough, improved quality, but they still, the bend is so, when they bust, and it makes me mad anyway. No, that one didn't break. Some new people joining. How's it going? Really interested to see what everybody's got going for lockdown projects. Wasn't planning on getting this thing going for a while. But hey, got some spare time. Let's build some stuff. I'm just fresh out of projects because I usually kind of stock up before the winter. Usually finish up with those. Springtime, it's time to get out and run stuff instead of build stuff. And here we are stuck inside. And I'm going to take this thing to the show and shine. Actually, probably will look pretty good when it's got a new body on it and stuff. It's completely bone stock except for the four-wheel steering, so maybe people will like it. I don't know. There's one guy in our club who, that's all he runs exclusively, were creepers. Just the axles, really. But right. Oh, I missed your comment. Just threw brushless in it. Well, RTR, portal gears are bone dry. Nice. We don't need grease. They're self-lubricating. Who needs grease? Bundle these together. I know. Riveting wire management action. I make no promises or guarantees about the entertainment value of this. Because I haven't done one of these in like 6 years, I figured, now's a good time. Oh, we're looking good here. Yes, sir. Probably shouldn't have done that because I have to hook this up to a Tegan hot wire. Not hot wire. Castle link. Look at that. That is in one piece. Amazing. Status of this servo is unknown. We'll see how it goes. Look at this battery tray. This is like even, well, I don't know, maybe not pre-lipo date. It's like it fits this lipo stick pack pretty good, actually. Kind of moves around a little bit. There. Well, that went a lot faster than I thought it would. Let's set up the radio. Make sure thing doesn't take off when it arms. Steering adjustments here. I promise you, this is the only Venom Creeper build going on YouTube right now. No others. Coming to you guys first. Oh, that poor servo. Thought something smelled hot. All right, servo. Nice. Let's set some endpoints. Steering, reversed. Let's get some steering throw out of that bad boy. Oh, that's all we got. All right. A little better there. What is that? Aux? I guess it's aux 1. It lives. Reverse aux 1. Reverse aux 1. Now, there we go. Now we're talking. Yeah. Is it browning out? I think it's browning out. It is. The voltage is dropping so low, the receiver is resetting. So it looks like I need to do a BEC in 3S. But if we're moving, see if I can get this a view where you guys can see it. There we go. Not too bad. That's a nice tight turning radius. Servo won't recenter very well. Man, I got a BEC on here. I think this thing's good to go. I gotta get that instant reverse going. There we go. Creeper lives. All right, we're coming up on 2 hours. This thing's running. I need a BEC for it and some servo horns, obviously, but I don't know. Got further than I thought we would get. Got some dog hair going on. So I think I'm going to cut this stream at 2 hours and just call it good with the truck running. And then next we'll do the body. I'm not sure I can do that on a live stream, but I don't know. We can try, I guess. Get the body painted, and yeah, this thing is running. It's pretty cool to see it go. Thank you guys for everyone who checked in to watch. Please be safe out there with the whole coronavirus thing going around. If your state and locality has asked that you stay home, please stay home. Whatever you got to do, go in your garage, build an RC car, start a live stream like this, like I did. Whatever. Share your stuff. Talk to your fellow hobbyists. Just try and support each other. Keep everybody happy and involved. And things can go into dark places when you're alone or in solitude for too long. So just try and support each other. Try to be nice to each other on the internet. And again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I will probably do another one of these maybe later today or tomorrow, where we prep the body and all that fun stuff. So anyway, that is it for now. I appreciate you guys checking in. If you're mad because I'm cutting it off right now because I see some people joining, hit my channel. I got lots of new content out there I've done the last few weeks. Some of it's pretty cool stuff. So that is it for now, guys. Thank you guys for stopping in. Stay safe out there.